I used to be down bad, but now okay. Hey y'all, what's up? Your girl was sick and now your girl okay. It has been a long time coming, you guys. I have been MIA because your girl was sick boots, okay? I don't know if you can kind of hear it in my voice now. I'm still not like fully recovered, but I needed some days to get right. Let's just put it that. Can't get right for a minute. I was in the bed drinking fluids, trying to eat but not being able to eat, and then my whole esophagus was just like burning every time I tried to swallow. So I wasn't even able to talk for real. So I apologize that I was gone for a little bit, but now your girl's back. And so yeah, I want to talk about a few things that I missed while I was gone. And so yeah, let's go ahead and not waste no time. Let's get into it. I got a little bit of a doctor's appointment that I gotta go to, and so yeah, we got some things to talk about. First things first, since I was talking about used to be down bad, but now it's okay. Let's get into the city girls, y'all. It looks like the city girls is, no longer together. It's not gonna be always and forever, okay? What do you guys think about the city girls, I guess splitting, Miami, Carisha rather, she, kind of did an interview, and she basically just kind of said that it really was like a difference of opinions. It was a lot of just not being able to agree on certain things. And then especially after that last rollout of their album, first things first, y'all's team did a shitty job in regards to advertising that rollout for the album, because didn't nobody even know that y'all were even doing an album. So I think a lot of that had to play into it. I don't know if maybe y'all's team or like the label just wasn't deeming you guys as lucrative, but that last rollout did not do well, and y'all really didn't do no type of promotion, no nothing. And so I can assume that really played a huge part in their relationship with each other. And I think also we ain't gonna sit here and ignore the obvious. That whole Diddy situation, Diddy being with Carisha, I think JT definitely kind of took herself on another way because she was not here for that. And then also, with JT being with Lil Uzi, y'all know how it is when, niggas get in their women's ear talking about, this and this, and, she thinks she all that, and all that. You know how it go. It definitely, I'm sure, played a huge part in their relationship kind of going sour. And it just, it really is unfortunate, because a part of me feels like they are better together than apart. But JT is doing what most people try, the best she can. She's out here doing certain venues, performing her song Okay, which what else are we gonna expect from JT? Like, that's the type of song we expect, and it is like a little bit of a little kitschy yang. And it's not bad. It's what you expect from somebody from JT. Carisha, did Carisha release any songs, any music? I can't remember. Or did she? I think she did. I think it was something like what old dude, like you can't mess with me or something like that. But nonetheless, hold on, let me pull up just a tad bit more. I think it really is kind of like sad how they split in the way that they did. But this is nothing new. We've seen groups split all the time, from the groups back in the 90s, all the men, all the women, like, it just happens. But I really do think they had a lot of behind the scenes shit that was playing into why, they kind of, split paths. Carisha, she was more of the popular one. Like, let's not, let's call it what it is. Carisha, was with Diddy. She got her, podcast on Revolt. She was the one really kind of doing like the interviews and things like that, and getting invited to, the Met Gala because of Diddy. Like, I don't want to say JT had like some type of jealousy. I don't necessarily want to use the word jealousy, but I think when you are a group and one person does kind of seem to be up here, it makes the people around, I'm sure the people around JT were doing a lot of in her ear. I definitely think that probably was happening. And there was an undergird between them of probably like not wanting to do exactly what Carisha wanted, even if it was in the best interest of the group. I'm just not gonna do it because this is what you want to do, and we already see how, you know, you moving, you know, as far as like your solo career. So yeah, you guys, y'all drop down in the comments and tell me what you think of, you know, the city girls no longer being together and just kind of, you know, splitting. Do y'all think they'll ever, you know, find a way to get back together? I feel like they definitely could, you know, use a little bit of escape, you know, take a memo from Escape when all this fails. And you know the money down bad, y'all get your asses back together. Y'all don't make it, so y'all just completely are no longer an option, you know, of each other. Whoops, did not mean to do that. I just wanted a little bit, just a little bit. I think they definitely need to make sure that they continue. Are they even in a speaking relationship? That's the thing. Like, are they even cordial with each other? Are they even speaking to each other like that? I think JT's still with Uzi. And Uzi looked like he caused chaos. Little mini B munchkin. He looked like he caused chaos. And I think Diddy too. We all know Diddy. He is the guy when it comes to isolating people. He was probably telling Carisha a whole bunch of, girl, yeah, you know, just stick with me. I'll make your life better. You know, I got this for you. You know, I've been in the industry. And that's usually how it goes. And I'm really hoping, you know, maybe JT wasn't around to hear those conversations. Or maybe Diddy possibly was purposely having those conversations in front of JT, because that's how you know, create chaos in people's camps, just by the murmurs. Like, all you got to do is plant a seed, and everybody else, you know, in the camp will do the work. Basically, I'll lay down the gasoline, and other people will set that on fire, you know. Can y'all see me? I kind of feel like I'm a little dark a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit, just a touch. But yeah, so speaking of, oh my God, I hate when you open the window and a fly comes in and then don't want to come out. Get out my face. Ugh. Get out. Oh, that's gonna piss me off. Get out, bro. Thank you. Jesus. Don't you come back in here. Woo. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. So yeah, speaking of, girl, I can give you the world. Y'all, let's get into the dream. Y'all, when I tell you, matter of fact, hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Let me get something to eat, and then we gonna follow up in the dream, because your girl's stomach is touching her back. Wait a minute. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm a little disappointed because the place I wanted to go was closed, but it's all right. I went to Wendy's, and you know, they got that new little $3 McMuffin meal, so that I just, you know, settled with that. But what were you talking about, you guys? The dream. Okay, so the dream was doing what all these producer niggas do, which is sell a dream. So come to find out, one of his ex-proteges basically just kind of was speaking of her experience with him, which her story is one that we've heard multiple times before. Girl, work with me, I'll make you a star, you know, just do this and this. And inevitably, somewhere in there, the niggas gotta press themselves for sex. They got to press up on the women and pressure them into making it feel like they have to do, you know, basically sexual favors. We'll just put it that way. And it really is unfortunate, because it's like, dang, as a woman, you really don't feel like there's not really a safe career when it comes to, especially being in an industry where men are, you know, predominant. You really can't, you know, feel safe. At some point or another, you know, one of these dudes is gonna try to push up on me. And a lot of times too, when y'all want to sit there and say like, oh, women sleep their way to the top. No, I read the tweet that was perfect, that described it perfectly. It's like, no, none of these women didn't sleep their way to the top. The problem is, a lot of dudes withheld, you know, valid positions for these women that women deserved, unless they slept with them, you know? And so that's one of the hardships that we have to deal with as women. But for her to come out and basically talk about how, You know, he would pressure her into doing, you know, freaky deaky things like freak offs like Diddy. You know, of course, of course, you know, it's basically sex, drugs, rock and roll. You know, he was forcing her to drink alcohol, and you know, there were certain times where she ingested things and, you know, went night-night. Like, these dudes are not safe out here. But the fact that the dream is up next, you see a lot of these dudes has gotten real since that Diddy situation, because we know it ain't gonna stop with him. A lot of these niggas in the industry were doing the same stuff as him, which is why when the stuff came out, their immediate response was, oh, you know, she just want the money, you know, she trying to cash out, and all these type of things. And it's like, y'all knew Diddy was doing all of this stuff, and y'all want to sit there and try to gaslight people into thinking that this woman just wanted some coin. Matter of fact, she deserves the coin for what she went through. Y'all read that deposition? You slimy ass dogs. Y'all read that deposition and thought, you know what? She didn't deserve none of the money that she got. At some point, as a victim, you understand, if I can't get criminal justice, but you gonna pay me. You gonna pay me for my pain. Shout out to Funky Dineva. I deserve some justice. And honestly, with a lot of these dudes, you gotta hit them in their pockets. Just like with corporations, you gotta hit them in their pockets. That's the only way you really get change. But the fact that, you know, the dream, ooh, I'm over here neck shiny and stuff. I really was supposed to get this air condition fixed the other day, but the dude that was supposed to fix it, he was sick too, y'all. So yeah, ooh, Lord, I'm just in here sweating for the time being. I'm up here on the pulpit, sweat for y'all, okay? Just sweating for y'all's entertainment. Lord, fix it, Jesus, help me. But yeah, you guys, y'all, the dream, what y'all think? Are y'all surprised that the dream is getting caught up? You know, it is real funny that, you know, a lot of these dudes, even though y'all went into hiding, all Cassie really did, Cassie kicked that motherfucking door open. That's what she did. She kicked that door open, and when people sit there talking about, oh, you know, now these ladies is coming out, now all of a sudden everybody want to get their piece. Why not? Why shouldn't they? That's the question. Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? A lot of these women didn't come out because they, first of all, didn't feel comfortable. Two, were threatened. A lot of y'all trying to hit women with the, well, why did you leave? You could have left. And statistics quite literally show that the most dangerous time for a woman is when she attempts to leave an abusive relationship. I literally just read a story the other day. I literally opened up Instagram, and like the second clip was a man actually shot and slit the throat of his girlfriend 8 weeks after having a baby, which is given to me, you got her pregnant on purpose, thought that was gonna keep her, and when you found out it didn't, unfortunately, it was to her demise. Y'all are sitting here constantly asking women to make the adjustments for men's bad behavior. Why are we always talking about how women should adjust better to the society that men are creating versus addressing the society that men are creating? It's always what women got to do to adjust, what we got to do better to live in the situation. And it's just like, it's really shit. It's like really ass. But yeah, y'all, the dream, y'all tell me what you think about him. And his ex protege lighting him up, talking about what he did to her and all the stuff that she experienced and trying to make herself have a career. A lot of times you just cannot trust these dudes. They're not going to give you something for nothing. That is the honest truth. And it's really unfortunate. Like, people sit there and think about like, well, she did it. Like, holding somebody's success and their dream over their head is not only an emotional like head, it really is like a mental head, because y'all are trying to punish people for wanting something, right? Like, doing it by any means necessary to reach a goal that could potentially change their lives. And that's what these men prey upon. That is always what they prey upon, knowing that somebody wants something so bad that I can get him or her to do anything. That's what Diddy was doing. He was able to get away with what he did because he had the money, and he kept people around him that needed the money. That's what you do. And so the people who really are fucked up are the ones who exploit people's dreams and people's, wants for things and their lack thereof of what they don't have. A lot of these artists, are coming from the ground up, probably sleeping, on couch to couch surfing and all those type of things. And then you got niggas like The Dream who wanna, find a way to smash out of it. You niggas is dirty. You niggas is dirty. What did Erica just say? Tired ass, po ass, dirt ass niggas. Like, shout out to Erica De Niro. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next. So who did we already talk about? We talked about the City Girls, The Dream. Who else do I need to talk about? Y'all, Eboni K Williams. Y'all, she pregnant. She is pregnant. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the picture and the announcement that she was pregnant, I was like, who the fuck knocked up Eboni? But then I was like, ain't no way no nigga knocked her up. She definitely had to do some type of, IVF or, sperm donor situation. And I'm not mad at it. We saw Lala do the same thing on Vanderpump. She had a nice little cute party where they picked the donors and things like that and made it like an actual, like community thing. Like, it doesn't have to be such a transactional thing of like, oop, got the sperm, now we inject. Like, it can be done in a very loving, creative way, like creation of life. And Eboni basically in her, statement just kind of like, realized like, I had to let go of the restraints that, society puts on us in a certain way we have to do it. Literally the minute we're born, we're told, be heterosexual, get married, have kids, retire and die. That is the way you're supposed to do it. And if you don't do it in that way, immediately you're getting stones thrown at you. You're getting stones thrown at you. And it's just really unfortunate because it's like, how are you mad that I'm living my life the way I want to live my life? But then you understand when you start thinking about human nature is you start to resent the people who do what you wish you could, right? And there's so many people who live in these conservative, places or decide to be in these conservative, political fields or worlds or whatever, or are just born into it and don't have and aren't strong enough to get out of it or don't have a way to get out of it. And so the only thing they can do is, just hate on the people who decide to live their life, And so Eboni, I definitely am here for it. Congratulations to her. A lot of people's gonna have shit to say. And I think Eboni, probably did like what a lot of these women who are kind of like of a certain status do. You try to wait and find a man that is, worthy of having a baby with. Because at the end of the day, Eboni ain't no bus driver, and y'all upset about it, but she's saying exactly what y'all niggas told her. Literally since the inception, men in the traditional sense have said a man is supposed to be the one that, upgrade your life. I'm supposed to get with you and my life is supposed to get better. So if it's not, like, why are you upset that I'm following y'all rules? But then you realize, a lot of these dudes ain't got the money for traditional lifestyle. That's why we sitting here battling 50-50, because a lot of niggas realize y'all said traditional, but y'all couldn't afford the shit. That's the real reason why. When y'all sitting there having the traditional, and women was like, okay, let's be traditional. Do you got the funds? And I was sitting there thinking that when that whole traditional conversation happened, and I was just like, okay, all you do is trying to, be traditional. If somebody were to say, okay, right now with your bank account, could you afford taking care of a woman, a household, and all the expenses for her is regards to like, her lifestyle? Because back in the day, if your lifestyle was paid for, your salon bill, your clothing bill, all of that was paid for. That was a part of it because, looking good was a part of the package. Do a lot of you niggas got that money? Right. Okay. So that's why we're sitting here battling 50-50, because a lot of you mediocre niggas ain't out here doing the work that you should be doing and get mad that women are doing it. And so that's why we're sitting here having shit done in the government. Y'all trying to like sit here and tell women that we don't have the right to choose what to do with our bodies. Man, F that. Like, for real, F that. But let's go ahead and get back to it and finish the rest of this video. I was talking about Eboni K Williams, and basically, how society has expectations on everybody, in particular women, and y'all want to sit there and get mad at people for living the way that they want to live, and because you don't have the gonads, the cojones the cojones to do what you want to do. You want to sit there and, try to, throw stones at everybody else. Like, especially the conservative folks. We know deep down y'all freaky deaky. Y'all be the worst ones. Because y'all be so regressed in y'all's emotions and y'all sexual experimentation. That's why y'all weird asses be over here having, effing goats in the booties and stuff, like for real. Like, these dudes who stick their penis in anything, especially them conservative, black slacks and loafers on, knocking on your door talking about, do you love Jesus? Them be the main ones, because they so sexually repressed that they start doing some crazy shit, and then the women, poor women, y'all in the households with niggas who can't even get you off, and y'all gotta sit there and play it up like you busting a nut in there somewhere, and homie can't even bust a grape. Like, it really is like unfortunate. But for Eboni, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people judging. Of course, it's the thing of like, oh, how could you not do it? That child needs a father, and all of those things like that. Well, you know how many kids have a father in the house, and he ain't doing nothing, and ain't showing them what a real man's supposed to look like, and a father in the house that is causing hell, ain't doing nothing but raising hell and raising everybody's blood pressure up from the mama down to the children. There's a lot of fathers doing that. That's the conversation that definitely needs to be had. Y'all sitting here talking about, oh, kids need their daddy in their lives, and then the daddies that be in these kids' lives do nothing but wreak chaos and confusion and wreak havoc. Like, that's just for real the truth. But I feel like also too, if you may not have like a quote unquote father figure, having a male figure in a child's life is just as valuable. I.e., I don't know if Eboni has a brother or a granddad, or uncle, whatever. Like, having a male figure is just as effective. There are a lot of people who didn't necessarily grow up with a dad, but they had their uncle, they had their, their pops, their granddad, they had their their older cousin that offered just like a male role model, to really give them that type of, male influence that, the father is supposed to give. So it doesn't have to look exactly the way that society, has created this, imaginary, just like box of everybody that's supposed to fit in. Like, all the millions of people, y'all trying to put everybody in that box? Really? Come on now. But yeah, you guys, Eboni, I'm rooting for her. She's doing, at the end of the day, like, she did it, y'all. Like, she pregnant, she gonna push out this baby, and she ain't gotta worry about no nigga though. Nigga sitting there hitting her up to let me see my baby, and then you give him a time to be there, and then nigga don't show up, right? Or having to deal with running nigga down for child support, as a lot of you women is out here doing. Or worrying about the fact that the daddy is the one really doing the damage to your child. Because they say, statistic wise, the one that's probability of hurting your child is the daddy. But that's the community, that's a conversation the community don't really want to talk about. Y'all sitting there talking about worry about strangers and stuff, and the one you really got to worry about is the one in your households. Y'all want to sit there and tell the kids, oh, Uncle, y'all want to sit there and lie to kids, oh, Uncle Earl, everybody just make sure you don't sit on Uncle Earl's lap. And why is Uncle Earl here? Why is Uncle Earl here if y'all know if he not even safe enough to sit on the lap? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that we be letting slide in the black community is just appalling. But yeah, at least Eboni K don't have to worry about no man wreaking havoc. And that's a lot of things a lot of people y'all need to start considering. Y'all are not taking the decisions lightly of who you are marrying and who you are having kids with. Y'all are not really grasping the graveness of this here, like the gravity of what it is to be tied to somebody for life. And once you pop out a baby, Bernie Mac ding dong baby, once you pop that baby out, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So don't let society pressure you into hurry up and rushing into getting married and having kids when you find out like, oh, I really don't even like you. Because once that kid comes, that's when the true colors really start showing with a lot of these dudes. because that's when they start feeling like they got a little safety net when you have the baby, because they know a baby is an extension of the mother, right? And that's automatically a connection that not only the mother has just because she gave birth, but that the pressure that society puts on women to make them responsible for holding the family together, or, oh, how dare you take the kid away from the dad, but then at the same time also want to blame women because, why didn't you leave? You could have left. When women talk about how abusive their counterparts are, right? But wait a minute, y'all told her she need to have the daddy in the life. So which one is it? You know, but yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, y'all. But last but not least, speaking of daddies, let's get on somebody's daddy. Coi Leray, yo daddy, I really feel sorry for you. Y'all, Coi Leray, she denounced her daddy. She said, I want nothing to do with that. No Nick, Ninja Turtle looking head ass nigga. I don't want nothing to do with him. Especially after he sat there talking about, oh, RKelly needs a second chance. RKelly was on his 500th strike, okay? After that whole, golden shower situation on a hella minor, not just a minor, but like a hella minor. You didn't think that was a second chance, Benzino? Right? And then when he sat there and heard that his daughter was out there, involving herself in intercourse at 14, it's just like, y'all sit there and look at girls, and slut shame them. When the truth is, when a girl is that young and already trying to, experiment with sex and things like that, a lot of it does have to do with the fact that does she have a male figure in her life? Does she have a man in her life that will tell her to, honor herself and don't just give her body to any man or to any boy? And understanding, just like boys are going through their hormones and shit, so are girls. So are girls. I honestly feel like, I swear I put that on everything. I really feel like that's why there's not sexual education in high school. Because once you start offering sexual education, then that means you now have to admit that girls are sexual beings. And they don't want to admit that. They don't want to sit there and think about women actually being sexual beings, having hormones too. I want dick too. What did Summer say? Girls need love too. Hey, girls need love too. Hey, girls need love. Tell you something. Girls need loving too. Okay? She said girls need love too. All right? But it's once you, of course, as a woman, you get older, you start to, figure out your body and things like that. Now, all of a sudden, you a slut, skis, hoe, everything but the child of God. But these ninjas could be out here since 12 years old, with their little willy out there, dingling out, don't even know how to even hit it properly, don't even know what a full erection is. But it's cool for them to go out there and, have sexploration, It really is crazy that Benzino is looking at his daughter like, ew, how dare you? But nigga, where were you though? How about she might not have been in the streets if you were there? What's not clicking for you, Benzino? It's very obvious Benzino is hella jealous of his daughter. He's upset that she made it without him. Because I definitely didn't know Coi Leray was his daughter when she first came out. And hell, Benzino had to let everybody know. I think it was Benzino that let everybody know. Oh yeah, that's my daughter. And then everybody was like, oh, word? I knew Benzino wasn't shit when that whole Nicki Minaj shit, already before, we knew he wasn't shit just because loving hip hop and things like that. But in regards to a father who wanted to so-called build a relationship with his daughter, because Coi Leray did let you back in, Benzino. She talked about wanting, to have you in her life and, the conversations about, in the studio and, letting certain dudes know hey, Benzino, my dad. And, she talked about having those conversations. And Coi Leray gave you the opportunity to fix your F up. She really did. But then you go and do shit really you completely shattered the whole, the whole secrecy of her and Nicki Minaj, that whole collab. Y'all remember when he did that shit? Talking about, oh yeah, I'm just so proud of her. And she working with Nicki. That wasn't supposed to come out. You ruined it for her and you know you did it. She told you to keep your fucking mouth shut. and you sat there and ruined it for her purposely. You subconsciously are pissed off about the fact that she already told the world about how you weren't there for her. Her mama was over there on food stamps. I was there for my kids. Benzino, you want to probably think about a whole span of 5 years that you might have been there for them financially at that. Not really there physically, helping the kids every day, day to day, taking them to school, things like that. A lot of you dudes don't understand. Being there for your kids is more than just financial. But, you know, you want to be like, oh, I'm there for my kids. How long though? Because we know when Source went belly up, you didn't know what to do. And for a lot of dudes, obviously, from going from, you know, having publicity and money and things like that to being belly up, broke, no money, that plays with a lot of dudes' egos. It does. It does. They don't know how to act from that. So I'm sure he was going through a lot of depression. Probably was, you know, inducing himself with a lot of, you know, liquor, trying to numb the pain. And you were not there for your daughter, point blank, period. Like, a lot of parents think that they're shitty parents for admitting that they effed up or that they weren't a good parent. No, that's not what makes you a shitty parent. What makes you a bad parent is ignoring the fact that you could have, you know, been better or could do better, and then, like, not doing it. Like, it is more detrimental to sit there and act like you're not a bad parent or you didn't have any F-ups than to just sit there, you know, I effed up, and then now try to do better. You get more parent, you know, parental points by saying, dang, I slipped off, you know, I effed up, like I got some making up to do. We can respect that, because at the end of the day, there is no guide for parenting. You know, there is no one way to do parenting. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. So when you F up, just be like, dang, you know, I really could have did better. You know, I'm learning every day how to do better, you know, and I just hope, you know, my kids, you know, stay with me on this, you know, and they forgive me and they're willing to, you know, accept, you know, me trying to make a change. But then you have niggas like Benzino who let their pride get in the way, and you want to sit here and say stupid shit like, oh, RKelly deserves to say, Coi Leray had to sit there, I don't condone none of that. My name Bennett, I ain't in it. That is not my daddy. I don't know that man. We don't even got the same neck, okay? Well, speaking of neck, I'm back in the pool pit, y'all. I'm parked up under the shade here a little bit, but it's still 90 degrees outside, though. But yeah, she said, you see my neck? I got a long giraffe neck. Benzino, he over here looking like this. You know, head can't even turn right, okay? You got to turn your whole body just to see somebody walking up behind you. Ugly ass Negro. Ugh. Looking like a melted caramel, looking like a melted piece of caramel. Ugh, I swear Benzino is just so corny. A lot of you dads are. And y'all sit here and think about how y'all want to talk about the effects of, like, oh, hearing about how your daughter is out here in the world, but you're judging it, but then not realizing your connection to your daughter out here willy-nilly in these streets. Like, all those dudes. And that's the thing, too. I did like the fact that when she told those dudes that she was out, you know, having sex at 14. Damn, you was outside. How about, oh, dang, you know, like, what was that like? What had you feeling like that? Like, for men, there seems to be not, like, a psychological connection to girls allowing boys, you know, to hit, basically, and what that girl is going through at the time. There seems to not be any sympathy or empathy for when girls go through phases of where you genuinely just kind of don't love yourself, or when you're not in connection with yourself and you're not self-assured with yourself. And at those times, that's when dudes come in. They love the girls with daddy issues. They'll tell you they don't want a girl who's self-assured, confident, all those things. That's why they do everything they can to tear women down, because the girls with the issues are the ones that let you smash because you bought her 2 shots at the bar. But yet a girl's not supposed to be a hoe. A girl is supposed to be, you know, holding herself in purity. But yet y'all get upset when the girls ain't putting out because you bought her 2 drinks at the bar. So which one is it? You know? But there seems to not be any type of, like, emotional care for girls who go through those phases, especially as a young teen, where you are kind of like searching and growing, like you're trying to figure life out. And in that process, that's when these men, especially these older men like RKelly, come and manipulate you. but then she was fast. Or how about the man that was 30, 40, 50 years old was inappropriate and took advantage of a girl? How about that? Oh, she should have known. I don't know at 14 years old. That's why he came to me. Duh. No girl knows at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. She hasn't experienced the world yet. That's why these dudes come and get the young girls, because they don't know. Like I swear to God, like it baffles me. But yeah, Benzino, you ain't shit. Your daughter don't want nothing to do with you. You know, I wish you was like Pinocchio. Every time you lied, at least your neck grew half an inch, and then you finally would have a way to put your t-shirts on. But yeah, you guys, that's it. I don't want this video to get too long. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna go over here and go get me a nice little slush, okay? Because it's happy hour and your girl is hot, all right? But yeah, y'all drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think about Benzino basically saying RKelly needs a second chance. How y'all feel about you know, him not acknowledging his part in Coi Leray's, you know, growing up, and her, I guess, you know, being sexually active at 14, and how him being gone contributed to that, you know? How you guys feel about JT and, you know, Carisha, you know, splitting up? Do y'all feel like they might get back together? How you guys feel about Eboni, you know, deciding to go the IVF route and have the baby on her own? And who else did we talk about? Oh, the Dream. Ooh, y'all, the Dream. What y'all think about the Dream? Y'all think he gonna catch some charges? And do y'all think some other women are gonna come out? What y'all think? Drop it in the comments, let me know. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow my Instagram and Twitter, and I'm gonna catch y'all hoes later. Deuces.